College, Marangalli, e-learning.
Dear students, myself I am Febina TA, Assistant Professor, Department of Human Resource Management, MES College, Marangalli. Today we are going to deal with the subject of industrial relation and the topic collective bargaining, which is the part of semester 3 MHRM. Today we are going to deal the third module of industrial relation, that is collective bargaining. The collective bargaining, the word itself indicates that the collective group of people will bargain and negotiate. Basically, it means that the bargaining between employer and the employee, it may be related to wage related issue, any ethical issues relating to working condition, and it may be related to any of the works. The collective bargaining, the third module of collective bargaining, we are going to discuss. The session will include the definition, objectives, features and importance. Next, the condition for the successful collective bargaining, process of collective bargaining and types of collective bargaining. Let's move on to the first slide. The definition of collective bargaining. The collective bargaining is a process in which the representatives of labor organization and the representatives of business organization meet and attempt to negotiate a contract or agreement which specifies the nature of employee-employer relationship. This is by Edwin Flippo. The process involves the discussion and negotiation. The collective means group and the bargaining means the proposal and the counter proposal to reconcile their conflicting interest. It is a flexible interest. Next, the objectives of collective bargaining. It helps to maintain the relationship between the management and the workers. It helps to settle the dispute or conflict relating to wage and working condition. It helps to ensure the participation of trade union in industry. It helps to resolve the difference between workers and management through voluntary negotiation. It helps to avoid the need of government intervention as it is a voluntary process. Next, the features of collective bargaining. First one is group and collective action. It is a collective process in two ways. First, the workers collectively bargain for their common interest and benefits. Secondly, the workers and the management jointly arrive at the amicable solution through negotiation. Next one is strength. In collective bargaining, the bargaining strength of both the parties are equal. Next is continuous process. It is a continuous process. It involves not only the negotiation of the contract but also the administration of application of the contract also. Next is flexible. It is flexible and parties have to adopt a flexible attitude throughout the process of bargaining, since no party can afford to be rigid and inflexible. The next feature is voluntary process. Collective bargaining is a voluntary process on the part of management and workers. Next is power relationship. It involves the power relationship. The workers want to gain the maximum from the management and management want to extract maximum from the workers by paying as little as possible. Next is bipartite process. The management and the workers negotiate the issue directly face to face across the table. There is no third party intervention. Next is two-party process. As two parties are involved in it, it can succeed only when both the labor and management want to it succeed. Next, importance of collective bargaining. How the collective bargaining is important to employees. Self-respect and responsibility. Increase the strength of workers. Increase the morale and productivity. Restrict the management arbitrary action. Strengthen the trade union movement. Then, how the collective bargaining is important to employer. The total productivity of the company will increase, easier for the management to resolve the issue, reduce the cost of labor turnover and open up the channel of communication between top to bottom level. The next slide is condition for the successful collective bargaining. First one is a favorable political climate. If the collective bargaining has to be fully effective, a favorable political climate must exist. The government and the public opinion must be convinced that the collective bargaining is the best method of regulating employment condition. Next is strong and stable union. The collective bargaining is not possible if the employees are not free to form trade union as they please. A strong and representative trade union is required to bargain with the employer on equal basis. Next one is recognition of union. A trade union may be stable and strong, but until it is given the recognition by the management, it is hardly have any impact. Collective bargaining cannot exist or begin until union is recognized and regarded as an integral part of industrial relation. Next, fair labor practices. Both the employer and the trade union should avoid unfair labor practices. Collective bargaining is possible only in an atmosphere of mutual trust and recognition. Next is positive attitude. The negotiation team should have the problem solving and positive attitude rather than fighting approach. Next one is continuous dialogue. A dead end must be avoided in negotiation and the talk should continue. As long as the talk continues, agreement can be possible. Next one is availability of data. The employer must ensure that all the records are available. Fact and figures relating to employees and their working condition provide a rational basis for negotiation. The next is the process of collective bargaining. The collective bargaining takes place in two stages. First one is negotiation and second one is implementation. The following steps are to be involved in the collective bargaining process. The first one is identification of the problem. The nature of the problem involves the selection of representatives, their number, period of negotiation and the period of agreement that is reached ultimately. The next step is preparation for the negotiation. Both the employers and the employee devote a great deal of time to the preparation for negotiation. Third step of collective bargaining process is negotiation procedure. Representatives for the negotiation are to be selected. After the selection, they should be educated about the problem and its pros and cons. Their power and authority during the negotiation should be decided. Other preparation include fixing up time for negotiation, period of negotiation, etc. The fourth step of collective bargaining process is implementation of contract. The agreement can be made on temporary basis. In such case, before the expiry of agreement, both the parties consult each other and can terminate and renew the agreement. This may again lead to negotiation. As such case, the collective bargaining is not a temporary accommodation, but it is a continuous process. The next topic is types of collective bargaining. The types of collective bargaining is divided into 4 types. First one is distributive bargaining, second one integrative bargaining, third one attitudinal structuring and intra-organizational bargaining. First one is distributive bargaining. It is the most common type of bargaining and it involves the zero-sum negotiation. In other words, one side wins and other side loses. This involves the bargaining over the distribution of surplus. In this, economic issues like wage, salary, bonus are being discussed. One party gain is another party's loss. Second one is integrative bargaining. Integrative bargaining is a smaller to the problem solving session in which both the sides are trying to reach the mutually beneficial alternatives, that is win-win situation. Both the party may gain or neither party lose. Both the parties are trying to make more of something. Third one is attitudinal structuring. This involves the shaping and reshaping some attitudes like trust or distrust, friendliness or hostility between the labor and the management. Attitudinal structuring is required to maintain smooth and harmonious industrial relation. Last type of collective bargaining is intra-organizational bargaining. This is the type of maneuvering to achieve the consensus with the workers and management. Even within the union, there may be the differences between the different group. Within the management also, there may be differences. Trade union maneuver to achieve the consensus among the conflicting group. With this, the session on collective bargaining will end. Hope the points are clear to you. Thank you.